Harvey is headed for Texas.
We'll begin with a story that no doubt you've been following all weekend. The historic flood disaster in southeast Texas is likely to continue for days or even weeks. The news is not good there this morning.
And tonight, Greater Houston remains paralyzed, a region of 6.8 million people sheltering in place as the flooding disaster unfolds.
It is a colossal rescue effort. Thousands stranded, taken by boat and helicopter.
Let's get straight to the breaking news. Harvey provoking an unfolding flooding disaster in America's fourth largest city, Houston, Texas.
This is all happening right now as we come on the air, and the situation is unfortunately dire. People trapped in their flooded out homes. They are fleeing to their attics, taking to social media, begging for a rescue.
Hi, my name's Nina LeBlanc, and I'm a compliance director at HydroChemPSC. Well, on August 27th, we were watching as the waters rose, starting at 3 a.m. We were steadily watching. The creek is right behind my house, so we had the other family across the street and another family down the street evacuate to our house because we're the highest house on the street. So we started watching the water rise and rise, and eventually we were all sitting on the stairs and just saw the water start coming in our house. The creek pretty much took over our street, and the current started taking away trailers and basketball goals, flooding down the street.
My name is Leslie Robb, and I'm an insurance administrator at HydroChemPSC. I guess none of us kind of this far inland in Texas were all that worried about it. Saturday night is kind of when everything started happening. We didn't really know what to expect, I guess you could say, because we were so new to the neighborhood. So about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, I guess you could say Sunday morning, water started coming in through the back of the house, in through the weep holes of the brick actually, and kind of seeped up through the floors and stuff. We moved our son from his bedroom into the living room with us and kind of got all of our belongings that we would need if we had to make a quick getaway.
My name is Tony Allen, and I'm in the operations department for HydroChemPSC Chemical Cleaning Department. My place got flooded. I lose a lot of stuff in the house. I had about between 1 to 1.5 feet of water at various different parts in the house. So I lose the complete flooring, the subflooring, the sheetrock on the wall, the installations. Some of the outlets were also not working at this time.
Hi, my name is Shauna Bro. I work for HydroChemPSC for Galena Park Terminal as a monitoring technician. From the time Hurricane Harvey started, we were completely prepped for it. It was not supposed to be the storm that it turned out to be. I believe the storm hit Friday night. We got a call Saturday morning saying that the neighborhoods right next to us were going underwater. So we took out our boat and we went to different neighborhoods and we rescued people. Whenever we came home later on that night, our water level started getting pretty high. We still didn't think anything of it because we're in a mobile home, so we're way higher off the ground. So we ended up hooking up with the Cajun Navy and people that run airboat cruises, and we went to Beaumont and Port Arthur to go help rescue. We did this for 3 days, coming back and forth, back and forth. It was not until Monday morning, whenever all the levees started breaking, that Mont Bellevue went under. We had more than 7 foot of water in most of our houses, most of our subdivisions. Everybody I know has lost everything, and we are slowly rebuilding.
I'll show you a little bit about where everything happened. Right here behind the tree line is the creek. It's Clear Creek. And that's actually the creek that came over into here and took over our street and took over our home. The house right over there as well, you'll see that the deck is ruined basically because the creek took it. And that house had the water all the way to the roof line. That family, they came to our house because we're the highest house on the street. And we had another family as well come over to our house. As you can see on our street, the street kind of goes down. The topography of the street goes down a little bit. So as you go down, the water just gets deeper and deeper. So once the flood waters finally receded, we had a dive team come out, and they launched right here, and they went diving down there for bodies, any kind of bodies that they maybe could have found. But luckily, there were no bodies.
We ended up actually waiting out the storm in the house just because we called 911 at about 5 or 6 a.m. and they told us that we weren't their first priority because there were worse scenarios happening not too far from us. That wasn't really a good thing to hear with a 1-year-old in a house that, you know, you were just not really sure what was going to happen next. My husband actually waded out into the street, down the street a little bit, and found someone who was driving around in his boat looking for people to help. He flagged him down. The gentleman actually pulled up in our front yard because it was a lake at that point. My husband carried my 1-year-old son out to the boat and handed him to a complete stranger while we carried what little belongings we were able to pack and our 2 dogs. It was just, I don't know, it was just one of those things where no one really had words to say to each other. It was just kind of, you know, get in the boat, we'll take you wherever you need to go, and it was just kind of left at that.
We end up losing our boat during a rescue. We've lost our house. We have lost vehicles. There was a lot of severe injuries, a lot of heartbreak. There's a lot of heartbreak.
It didn't really hit me, I don't think, until the boys came up and gave me a hug, and then I just broke down crying. So it's hard because everything you work for is out on the side of a curb, and you're watching people come down the street stealing from the stack of your stuff. But there's new beginnings and everything, and it's just stuff. So none of my family was hurt.
It was probably about 4 days before we were able to get back into our house. And whenever we got back in the house, there was actually still about 6 inches of water still there. And it kind of slowly receded throughout the day. We were blessed with family and friends that just kind of came out of the woodwork and helped us tear out everything and basically take our lives and put it out on the curb. It was kind of humbling in a way to know that there was that many people that cared about you, but at the same time, it was a struggle for my husband and I to, you know, all these things that we've worked so hard to have, you know, are ruined, and it just happened so quickly. You know, there's just nothing we could have done to prepare or prevent what happened. But I'm just thankful that we all made it out safe and healthy, and, you know, we're rebuilding, and we'll rebuild stronger and better than what we were before.
So every day after work, we come here to the house to hang sheetrock, get stuff off the floor, the glue that was there from the tile before. Every day we're working after work. I would say emotionally, it's taken its toll as far as never having an end in sight right now. It just seems deflating sometimes when every day you have to come home from work and work some more, and it just seems to be never ending. So in that part, it's emotionally difficult, but otherwise, we're very positive people, so we try to find our joys and our victories in the small things.
HydroChemPSC sent out an email to the bosses asking about people that had been affected by Harvey. And my boss kind of knew how private I was, so he sent it in for me. And HydroChemPSC turned around and sent me a $1,000 check to help me get out of the bind that I was in right at that time. I just received a call out of the blue saying that, you know, I had somebody turned it in for me, and come to find out that it was my boss. It absolutely touched me.
HydroChem, at the time, there was a lot of our branches and coworkers that were affected by Harvey all over Texas and Louisiana, the Gulf Coast. And so we had a Harvey Relief Fund that coworkers contributed to. My husband and I are not the kind to ask for help, so just for them to take that initiative and give back to their employees was really heartwarming.
So some of my co-workers from HydroChemPSC, they came and helped me on their personal time, remove all the sheetrocks, the insulation, the flooring, and, you know, take it out to the street. Well, what that tells me is that there's a unity, a great togetherness, and, you know, they pull together in time of need and help one another.
What was amazing, and probably one of my favorite things of the whole experience, was seeing that even though it was one of the most devastating experiences of our lives, both of our work family, mine and my husband's, they came to our rescue. My boss, he came and brought me a gift card and gloves and said, "How can I help?" And some of my other employees or my local coworkers, they brought their families and helped rip the walls out of our house. A lot of the work family that we had, they called or sent flowers or just well wishes. They also took up donations and gave us money. I've received 2 donation offerings from my fellow coworkers, so that was a huge help.
I'm thankful for family, and family extends so much further than blood. I consider a lot of my coworkers family, friends, anyone who is so willing to just take time out of their lives to help you when you really need something just shows how much they really care about you. And so I'm really thankful for the people in my life that care about me.
I am thankful to be alive, to have my house and my kids and my husband. I am thankful for my job and my coworkers that supported me through everything, that called, texted, checked, every day at work, just put their hands on me and tell me everything's gonna be okay. I am beyond thankful for my crew. I am beyond thankful for them.
At HydroChemPSC, we had been running this Promise Me campaign, but this really brought it home for me because it really showed the promise that my company has to their employees, that no matter, they care about our safety at work, but they also care about our family and our safety at home too.
The guys that helped me out, I promise that if there's any time that they are in need, I'll definitely be there for them.
After going through all this with Harvey, I guess my promise to my coworkers is that you were there for me when I needed you, and I would love to be there for you in any way, shape, or form if you were to ever need something. And so I just promise to be there for anything.
I always make a promise to be safe for my family, but now I make a promise to my coworkers that I'll always be there if they ever need me.
To be a part of HydroChemPSC and a work family that loves and cares about you and was right by your side at your worst time probably ever. Sorry. That was huge for me and my family, and I will be forever indebted to my work. So they are my family. After this, I promise that I will pay back to all my coworkers and my company and share the love that I have for them, for being there in my time of need. I will do the same and pay it forward.